Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be talking all about microgreens. It's going to be a really fun day and answering any questions that you guys may have as well. We are excited to actually have some microgreens inside that we've been working really hard on, and I love it. We actually have some really pretty ones sitting right next to me to show you guys, and I am loving it. So, I would love to hear from you guys in the chat if you guys have been growing microgreens before, if you've had success, if you have had any problems, let me know. I would love to hear all your guys' experiences. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat, and I will have my helpers here in the background that pull up any questions that you guys may have. Again, thank you so much for joining. Please say hi in the comment section. Whenever you do post into the comment section, you will be entered in to win our giveaway for this week. And this week, it's a really exciting one. We're going to be doing again still the 1 year free premium from Seed to Spoon access, which is super exciting. It will include the new Growbot features, which if you guys have been joining us, you've been seeing all of our new, really exciting new Growbot features that we've been previewing for some of the people, for being able to identify pests, being able to identify plants, or if you have a problem with your plants, if you take a picture of it, you can send it to Growbot and Growbot can help you out. It's already helped me out numerous times. I love it. Plus, you get unlimited plants that you can log in your garden and free shipping. So it's super exciting right there. And then we're also going to be giving away the Park Seeds collection of microgreen seeds. So that's another really exciting thing too. So I'm really excited. It looks like we have a lot of people here in the chat. Hi, everybody. I see Smart Pots is in here. Hi, Smart Pot Jeff. Just planted microgreens this weekend. That's exciting. I love it. We've been busy planting. We've done several rounds ourselves. We have done we started some a few weeks ago and then just started some also this past week, and they're doing really great. And these are in Smart Pots actually too, right here. We just have these folded down right here on the side and then have some soil down in here. Well, we have just the what do we use? Coconut core only, right?
And we also did the hemp fiber mats too.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to show you guys, but yeah, we have a little bit of like the coconut core down here. And then, my lovely assistant is grabbing. Thank you. We also use this too. This is like the hemp pad too for.
Cut them down.
Yep, and then right here, you can cut them down too to fit into the little small Smart Pots here. And we have been growing in our little Smart Pots. We put them inside of a bootstrap tray right here too, and we can just put some water right here, and it just soaks it up. And it has, I mean, look at these; they look amazing. I love it. Yes, they sure do. Look at me. I'm super excited to eat them. We have a lot of them to be eating soon. Oh, I'm getting handed more. We have more growing too. So this is in our, this is in one of the bootstrap trays right here, you can see. And right here, these are ready to be harvested. So we can eat these very, very soon. And then, yep. And then we have like one of these little small trays too. I love these. These are from Bootstrap as well. And these smell so good. These ones right here are cilantro. They're so pretty also and tasty. If you haven't tried cilantro microgreens, you definitely need to try it. I love them. Oh, okay. Good thing I ate. I actually learned from the previous weeks of getting too hungry during the live streams that I ate beforehand. So luckily I'm not over here starving and trying to just eat all the microgreens. Dale is. He's already munching on the microgreens over here. I'm making him hungry. Well, thank you all for joining us. Like I said, if you have any questions at all, please pop them in the comment section to the side. We're just going to be chatting all about our microgreens and how we use them, how we grow them, all of that. So let's get started. Okay. Oh, and I did already say this, but I will mention it again for anybody who joined late. We're going to be doing a giveaway at the end, so make sure that you guys are joining us and sticking around to the end. We are going to be doing a free 1-year premium from Seed to Spoon app subscription, as well as the Parks Microgreen seed collection right there. So make sure that you guys comment off to the side, and you'll be entered to win. So, first of all, I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about why microgreens. And again, it is something that we started with probably maybe like a few years after we started gardening outside. And it was more just because we wanted a lot of greens in the time where we couldn't really grow greens outside. So it was too hot or too cold. I mean, one of the two. And we just really wanted some greens in our diet and something really healthy. So what we did was started a bunch of microgreens. And if you haven't heard of microgreens before, what they are is essentially just the, yes. So Sally. So what microgreens are just like little tiny baby plants, essentially. I mean, that's the best way to describe them. So whenever you start your seeds, they will grow up just about like an inch or two. And those sprouts right there are what you will be harvesting for microgreens. So you just cut them right. Yep. Thank you. See right here. So yeah, right here, I mean, you can just take a knife or scissors and just chop right here. And then you have all of these greens right here that you can add. And we'll talk about how I go through and add them into my meals. But this is what microgreens are. So pretty much like at this stage, you can go through and harvest and you just have little baby greens. And what's amazing about this is that they are incredibly healthy. So they have so many nutrients and vitamins all jam packed into this small little plant right here, because they are just the tiny amounts. So if you think about it, whenever they grow up real big, they spread everything throughout the plant. But whenever they're this small, all that nutrients are right here. And they're super healthy and very nutritious for you. And plus, they're super fast and they are easy to grow. And there's a lot of benefits to growing these. So for example, like broccoli right here, super fast. Within like a week to 10 days, you should be able to harvest. So that's incredible right there. And you can add some greens into your diet when maybe you can't grow greens outside. Because I know here we are in zone 7 here in Oklahoma, and it is starting to get to the time where we can't really grow greens outside. So a lot of our spinach and lettuce and kale, like all of those greens have all bolted outside or gone to seed. And then that's why we are like really starting a lot of our microgreens right now. Plus, I will say a lot of these do taste better too, especially the cilantro. If you guys are a fan of cilantro, that is, because I love cilantro. The taste of it is really good, and it almost has a different. I don't even know how to describe it. You guys just need to grow it, because the first time we tried cilantro microgreens, it was incredible. Like the taste is just so good. So definitely give cilantro microgreens a try. That's my favorite. So yes, I will say a lot of these even taste better whenever they're grown as microgreens versus outside, and you get more flavor, more nutrients. So there's a lot of benefits to growing your own microgreens. So first of all, you don't need a whole bunch of things to get started. In fact, if you wanted just everything in one, Park Seed actually sells. I should have sent you over a link to prepare you for that. Sorry, but Park Seed. Hopefully Dale can pop up a link here soon. But Park Seed actually has a kit that has literally everything that you need to get started, including like everything here in this picture. So it has that tray down on the bottom, and then it has the Espoma seed starting mix that you can put on the bottom, which we've grown a lot of microgreens in. It works amazing. And then also a lid, which you can kind of see on the top of that picture right there. So all you need to do is just do that, sprinkle some seeds. and then put the lid on for a little bit, and then have a light after whenever they start to sprout. That is beneficial as well. But if you have like a super sunny window or something where the sun comes in, sometimes that's all you really need. Yep. Thank you, Amber. Yes. Can microgreens go in the kitchen window? For sure. How often do you have to water it? Well, I mean, that's really going to depend on a lot of factors. But I mean, typically we go through and water ours like once a day. I mean, I go through and look at them at least once a day, and if they need it, I'll add some more. And especially with the bootstrap trays that I showed. Thank you. So like right here, it makes it really easy because I can just go in and I can just add water right here to it, and then they will soak up whatever water that they need. So I don't really need to worry too much about watering. That's the great thing about them. Okay, so let's talk a few of the common things or common plants that people grow as microgreens and eat. So peas. I wish we had some peas to show because peas are really, really cool. And we actually hadn't grown peas ourselves as microgreens until this year. And they were really good. We were so surprised and absolutely loved them. They are incredibly easy to add into your meals. They are super tasty too. The kids were just going in and like literally we were growing them on our kitchen counter, and the kids would just come over and just pick them off and eat them. That's how good they were. Like our 7-year-old would just go in and start eating them because they were so good. So peas are an amazing one. Another super common one that we've already talked about is cilantro. And cilantro, again, is my personal favorite just because it tastes so much better too. And it is so easy to grow too. And it is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Yep. There it is right there. I mean, if you guys could smell it too, it smells incredible. I love it. But this is another really common one that people will grow because, again, super easy to do. And radish as well too is another super easy one. I know they're easy to grow outside too, but they're really easy to grow as microgreens as well. And they're another really fast one too. So if you want a really fast microgreen, radish is a really great one too. And then arugula, we have next.
That was radish. Sorry.
Okay, I was like, what are you handing me?
That was late.
Yep. Okay, we have a late edition radish. Yep. So they're beautiful too. Like, look at that. Oops, I'm dripping water on the laptop. But yeah, you can see like the different color stems, like in the picture. Like, they're so pretty. I love them. So we have those, and then arugula is another really common one, and then broccoli too. There you go. Yay! Lovely assistant. Thank you. So yes, broccoli is beautiful too. Like, look at that. I love it. So good. And with these right here, you can get a harvest really quickly, and they taste so good. Like a very faint broccoli taste, so it's not like overpowering broccoli or anything like that. They are super tasty, and like I said, like 7 to 10 days is all you really need for that. And then we have, and then sunflowers are another really common one. Okay, so our arugula and radish sprouts spicy. So, I mean, slightly, but it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be the same as when they're grown outside to full harvest. So they're a little bit, I will say, a little bit like what they taste like, but not as intense. If that makes sense, I hope that helps to answer. Yes. So Deborah had a great question. Are they just regular seeds? So yes. So microgreens are just the regular plants that you would grow and start outside, like the regular seeds. So like, let's see what we have over here. Oh, I have green onions. I always have seeds laying around over here. But yes, you can use just any sort of seeds that you have laying around and sprinkle them in very dense. and you will get a good, you want them to be pretty dense like this. So that way you can go in and harvest these and get a lot of bang for your buck. Yeah, I'm dripping water all over me. Dale's laughing at me as I'm like dripping all water. Um, but there are certain varieties too that will do better than others as microgreens. For example, there's a specific broccoli variety, Calabrese, that Park Seed has that does really well for microgreens. So that's the one that we always do for our microgreen broccoli. Um, but also, really, you can do any sort of seeds that you have laying around. So any sort of sunflowers that you have, any sort of radish seeds that you have, you can just sprinkle them real dense and grow them to about this tall, and then you have microgreens. It's amazing. Oh, yep. I don't know about the image there, but yes, Calabrese. Yeah, weird. So yeah, getting started, it is super simple. You can do anything from the setup that I showed earlier, that Park Seed has, the all-in-one, super easy to get started that way. All you need is just that one tray, and then it has a lid on it, and then the soil, everything that you need. But you can also piece it together yourselves. Bootstrap Farmers has an amazing collection for microgreens, all from like really large setups to these smaller ones right here that are real small. And these ones you can get from Park Seed also. Park Seed sells all the Bootstrap products too, and through our app as well. And they can get 20% off with our app. And pull up. Okay, he's got it. So yeah, you can get all of that through parkseed.com or through our From Seed to Spoon app too. And if you're the 1-year premium subscriber, you get free shipping also, which is really exciting. So again, just assembling everything that you want. So any sort of tray will work. I prefer to have some sort of tray. Like this Bootstrap is amazing because it has like the tray right here. And then I can put a tray underneath it as well. And then I lift it up, I put some water underneath and then put this back into it. And that way, this will be sitting in water, but the water isn't too high up, if you get what I'm saying. It makes it really easy to water. So yes, this is a great question. You can grow in pretty much, you can grow in the Espoma seed starter like we talked about earlier. That's really easy as well. You can also grow in coconut coir, which is a super easy way to go about getting started. And then hemp pads also will work just fine for you as well. It's a less mess option as well. It's definitely a lot easier, but you will have to water more frequently if you use a hemp pad versus like coconut coir or Espoma seed starter. Those things. At least that's what we found whenever we've done the hemp pads. But it is definitely less messier. So it's all a give or take as to what you want. Do you want something that you have to take a little bit more care of, but you don't have to worry about the mess or harvesting, don't want to deal with dirt or soil or anything like that, that maybe the hemp pad is better for you. But Bootstrap Farmers also has a hemp pad as well that goes into it goes perfect into their trays. So if you did want to try those out, you should check that too. Okay, what do you do with the spent coconut coir or roots? So you can do a lot of things with it. So again, I have chickens, so we actually like to give a lot of our leftovers to our chickens, but I know not everybody has chickens in their backyard. But you can just take them and put them into the compost. So that's a really easy way to reuse any sort of material that you have. But if you are using like the coconut coir, you can try and just clean it out and reuse it. We've reused our coconut core like for multiple rounds of microgreens before, and we just go through and clean it out a little bit, and it works amazing. So let's see. Can you grow in regular soil? So yeah, for sure. Um, you probably won't want to have compost inside of your house. We typically don't have any sort of like compost or anything like that inside of our growing mixture for microgreens. It's not needed whenever you're just growing them to be this big. So we typically just use coconut coir. But you can do regular soil if you want to. You could also grow them outside too. We've grown a lot of microgreens outside, just planting things like super dense and going through um, makes it a lot easier too. So yes, you can, but I probably wouldn't do that inside. It'd probably bring in some bugs. Okay. Will they keep growing after they are cut for harvest? So, this really depends on the types of microgreens that you're going to be growing. So, some of them will grow back after you do, but some of them won't. So, things like peas and beans and cilantro, though I know those ones off the top of my head that you can cut and come again. Same as like basil, chives. Those ones are good examples too of ones that will come back for you after you harvest them. Peas actually did that. Yeah, I already said peas. Yeah, but I was just thinking through my head of all the ones that we've done that have come back. Um, so those ones right there will come back after you cut them, so you can keep growing them. But things like broccoli, mustards, kale, those things will not come back. So you get one harvest from them, and then you will want to replant or plant something different at that point. Do they grow back quickly after you harvest? So typically it's about the same. I mean, so I will say like whenever we harvested our peas, like they were back like definitely within a week. They are back to where they were before, but you can start harvesting them whenever they're even smaller than we were doing. Um, but I'd say definitely will be coming back within a week, but they are pretty fast coming back. Do they only grow the leafy part of the vegetable, or will there be tiny little radishes and teeny tiny peas as well? So, no, it won't grow any sort of radishes or peas or anything like that unless you keep growing it for longer than needed. But if you are only growing it for like a week or two, it's not going to get to any sort of full grown or anything like that. Now, I will say our peas, like we did leave them growing for, I don't know, probably a few weeks or so, because they got pretty big. And there was a few of them that had flowers on them, but we never had any sort of peas that grew on them. Yeah, and we do typically try to harvest them whenever they are younger to just they taste a lot better whenever they're smaller versus bigger. That's pretty much the same with everything outside too, I feel like. So I do try to yes, so Kelsey, do you need to harvest when they reach a specific height? I just try to harvest them when they're smaller. So I mean, like I'm gonna pick up this one instead. This one over there was dripping all over me. This one should be safe. So I mean, I usually just keep them like an inch or two and then go through and harvest them. But you can let them grow a little bit bigger. They won't taste quite as good the larger that they get. So I try to keep them at a smaller size. Plus, they'll be healthier too. They'll have more of the vitamins and nutrients in them, so they'll be a lot healthier for you at this stage, and you can fit more into your diet and squeeze more into the kids as well. Okay. Let's see. I'm coming in late, so this may have already been asked and answered, but how cost effective is it to keep buying seeds to only grow microgreens, such as peas, broccoli, and never actually get the full grown plants? So that's definitely a great question. So I will say growing microgreens is actually a lot cheaper for us in the long run, just because we do like to, like, over the summer whenever we can't grow greens, we this is how we substitute our greens. So if we weren't doing that, we would be buying greens at the store. So it is definitely way cheaper than going and buying like whatever sort of greens I'm going to be buying at the grocery store or the farmer's market, wherever it is I'm going. It's going to be way cheaper than doing that in the long run. So definitely way more cost effective. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about how we can go about eating. Oh, well, you just had that queued up, didn't you? How do you use microgreens? Okay, great question. So there are countless ways that you can go about eating microgreens. So many ways and so many tasty ways and lots of ways to sneak them into meals as well. Um, our favorite things to do, I tried to get pictures of together to put over here for you guys to look at. So we like to make these. So this top one over here is a Southwest wrap that we made. It's just like chicken. It's chicken, corn, and beans. I'm trying to see avocado, things like that. And then we just pop some greens on top of it. So any sort of microgreens that you want to put on there. And just adding anything into a wrap. And then you see this other wrap over here is really just a basic wrap with just any sort of deli meats or anything like that. You can just pop it into any sort of wrap, burrito, things like that. And it is tasty. Trust me. It is very similar for me to adding lettuce to it, but it adds a special flavor to it, especially if you do things like the cilantro. I know I'm gonna talk about cilantro a lot today, I feel like, but especially if you add things that taste amazing and have its own unique taste, you can make the most boring, bland wrap taste incredible by adding just a little bit of variety and a little bit of different flavors and textures into it. It makes it taste amazing. And then also another really easy way to do it is like making an omelet and chopping some of these up and putting it into there. Or we also do like scrambled eggs and pop it into there too. So any sort of breakfast foods like that. And then also over here, I have a picture of a mac and cheese that we made for the kids. And we actually it's super simple. Just take the broccoli is typically the easiest one for the kids because it is super, like, it's not over powerful. It's really easy to sneak in. So I always take the broccoli microgreens and chop it up and put it into the kids' mac and cheese that I make. They love it. They devour it. I should have put a picture. I have a picture of my daughter eating this, and it's funny, but yeah, any sort of ways that you can pop this into your meals, you can. I mean, pastas even. Like, honestly, the ways are countless. I would love to hear your guys' options. If you guys have found amazing ways to you guys use microgreens, I would love to see all of your favorite. Let's see. Oh, somebody had a bad gnat issue with microgreens. Any tips for that? So I will say gnats will typically come from like overwatering. So make sure that you're watching how much you're watering and how much water is in the bottom. Oh, wow. Comments are up on the screen. You're playing around? Oh. Mariana's playing around. Everybody say hi to Mariana and Dale. They're both hanging out in the chat. So that's who I'm talking to whenever I'm talking to my helpers. Let's see. So sorry, microgreens. So Yes, so proper watering, whenever you're watering, if you're watering from below, like with these bootstrap farmer trays and putting water down below, I would go check it within like 30 minutes or so. And if there's a lot of water left over, I would go ahead and dump that. Just because that is a really good place for your gnats to want to hang around. So doing that. Also, there is a hydrogen peroxide solution that you can make. Um, ooh, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 9 parts water to 1 part hydrogen peroxide. If you look it up,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. But that's one thing that we do as well. A hydrogen peroxide mix will help with that. Air circulation. So we have fans pretty much stationed wherever we have any sort of indoor seeds going. So indoor microgreens um, or seed starting mix and anything like that. We always try to have any sort of air solution, things like that. Okay, Dale says 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 4 parts water is what he found. Um, so yeah, some of those tips. Also, the hemp mats will be a lot better for you too. If you're having any sort of gnat issues, the hemp mats will be a lot better for you by preventing those issues too. Okay, does cilantro taste as soapy as microgreens as it does when it's full grown? So, Michelle, I am sorry that you are one that thinks that cilantro tastes soapy. I love the taste of cilantro. But yes, so many people say that cilantro tastes soapy. It's so funny that it's so funny. But yes, unfortunately, I'm yeah, Dale has tried it on a friend of his and gave him some of the cilantro microgreens, and he did think that it tasted like soap still, unfortunately. But I would give it a try. It's worth a try for me at least. Like I will try everything. I will try everything once. Even mustard. I even tried mustard and I hate mustard, but I even give it a try every time. Dale always tries to sneak mustard leaves at me, trying to see if I like them, and I will give it a try. Some of them are okay, but yeah. Okay, so Jay says, will you mention what plants shouldn't be used due to toxicity? Yes. Okay, so this is a great point. Thank you for bringing this up. So you definitely don't want to do this with just any sort of plant that you have hanging around. So those plants that I said earlier are really good options for you, especially if you're a beginner. Those ones are all really easy also. But typically, the things that you won't want to grow as microgreens are going to be like your nightshades. So things like tomatoes, peppers, also squashes. You wouldn't want to do any sort of microgreens with potatoes, like potato seeds. Um, yeah. So those ones I would say would be ones to make sure that you steer clear of. But again, if in doubt, I would definitely always look it up and start with some of the simple ones that we talked about too, like all the brassicas that we talked about earlier too. So like the broccoli, kale, those ones are super easy too. Cilantro, radish, sunflowers, even those ones are all really easy and fast and will do really well for you. Ooh, okay. This is a great question, Michelle. Okay, so Michelle says if you could pick one microgreen that is packed with the absolute most nutrients and has the most health benefits, what would it be? Okay, so this is great. Probably broccoli for the nutrients, just because it is super healthy for you. I mean, it's good for everything. I feel like it has like every single vitamin you can think of. Um, and then but I mean, cilantro is definitely my favorite though. And I don't want to leave cilantro out when I'm talking about one microgreen. So I guess I have to pick 2 microgreens here because broccoli is super nutritious also. And cilantro is nutritious as well, but it also just tastes incredible too. Unless you're like who was it? Was it Michelle that said it tasted like soap? Yeah, unless that's you. So then yes, stick to broccoli. Yes, microgreens are known to be extremely more nutrient dense than their fully grown counterparts. Some studies show up to 40% more. Awesome. Thank you, Smart Pots. Yes, for sure. Yeah, they are extremely beneficial to add to your diet. Does anybody have any yummy food ideas? Oh, let's see. If I have leftovers and put it in the fridge, let's see. How long will the microgreens stay fresh? Okay, so that's a great question. So we typically put them in these like little bags that we oh, he's grabbing one for me. Nice. Thanks. So we have these. These things are awesome. So these are just silicone little storage bags, like almost like Ziploc baggies. They just have like a little top like that, and it stays put. So that way, if I put it in like a little Ziploc, it almost gets like smushed when it's in the fridge. So I try to use these right here. So I just open it up and I put the microgreens in here. And this is a great suggestion too, putting a damp towel in there. Yes, I will typically do that as well. So I'll have like a paper towel or something like that, or a regular towel, and then put the microgreens in here, pop them into the fridge. Typically like 3 to 4 days max is what you're going to want to do in the refrigerator though. Ooh, I like it. Yes. I did not talk about microgreens and smoothies. Thank you, John. Yes. Microgreens and smoothies are amazing. For sure. Okay. Well, there we go. Any more questions? Looks like we have another question. Can you grow multiple microgreens in the same pot, or is it better to only grow one variety? So I mean, it's totally up to you. I have done a mixture. So there are some things that come mixed up together. So it's like different microgreens together in a pack. And that's perfectly fine too. You just want to try to have things that are going to grow and sprout around the same time frame. Because if you don't, then like look at this right here. So all of this is like the same height. So whenever I come in here to harvest it, it's all going to be the same size. It's going to be super easy to harvest and easy to eat. But if I have like some things up here, some things down here, it's going to be a lot more difficult to come through and harvest. So you want to try to stick with things that if they are different things, that they are ones that are going to be growing about the same time frame. Then it'll make it a lot easier to harvest, and you won't be shading out the smaller plants either. Okay. Ah, nice. I have used GrowBot more in the past week than you could ever imagine. What a help and relief to have that tool at hand. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you. Yeah, so we have the new GrowBot. It's going to be coming very, very soon to everybody that has premium, because we do have to pay for this feature every time we send up a photo. But it's super exciting. Whenever you have GrowBot open, you can send GrowBot pest images, or you can send GrowBot like a picture of your microgreens and say, what's wrong with my microgreens? And GrowBot will tell you what's wrong and give you tips for how to handle what is wrong. So it's really great at identifying what's wrong, giving you tips, identifying plants, pests, things like that. So we are working fast and furious on getting an update out. And if anybody else wants to come join the early testers group, if you already have premium, let us know. Or if you win premium today too, you can email us at info@seedtospoon.net right there, and we will get you set up if you guys want to try it out. But yes, we are going to be doing a giveaway too here shortly, so make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. Okay, are chia seeds edible? Yes, they are. They're going to have a lot of omega-3, so those are a great option to grow for microgreens also. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Wendy. She says y'all will love the new Growbot features. Wendy's been doing a lot of testing for us. It's awesome. Thank you, Wendy. She's been amazing. She's been testing, like, I feel like I get a very detailed email from her, like, at least once a week, if not more. Thank you so much for all of your help. It's been amazing. Okay, so are they heat friendly for outside sowing, or should they be sown or grown indoors only? Okay, so that's a great question. And so if we're talking just microgreens in general, it really just depends on what microgreens you're going to be growing. Um, and like I said earlier, there's a lot of different microgreens that we've grown outside. We typically just take a smart pot and just plant it super dense. And then we just start harvesting whenever they're about this tall. And it's a really great way too. We typically leave like one or two plants in there too. And we can let those ones grow up, but we go through and like harvest around it. So this is really good to do with things like kale or any sort of like greens like that would be amazing to do outside. But obviously kale's not one that's going to be great with the heat. But again, like sunflowers would be good in the heat. So sunflowers would be a really good option for outside. Yeah, I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a lot of them that you can do outside too. And also in the fall, I mean, here in a few months, you can grow a lot of them outside too. Okay, do we have any other questions? Okay. Well, do we want to go ahead with the giveaway? Uh-oh. He's got to go through and run the giveaway. So we'll we'll stall a few minutes while he's running it to see who the lucky winner is for the giveaway. Well, I appreciate everybody so much for coming and hanging out and chatting microgreens. I have enjoyed it, and I really do. Even though I ate beforehand, I still want to eat these now, especially the cilantro. I really could just go through and eat that. It's so good. Okay, so it looks like they have a winner drawn. Are we good? Okay, we're gonna pull it up. Congratulations, Rachel. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Horschler? Hopefully I didn't butcher that. I'm sorry. So congratulations, Rachel. Please email us at info@seedtospoon.net and you will get your free premium 1 year from Seed to Spoon app subscription. It'll be super exciting. And we can even get you set up on the new Growbot features as well, where you can identify pests and plants and get problem solving with all of your plants. And you can log all of your plants and get free shipping on all your orders as well. And you're also going to be getting some seeds too. Okay, so we have a quick question about fertilizing. So no, we actually do not go through and fertilize our water whenever we're going through. We have tested before too to see if it makes a difference with using fertilized water versus non-fertilized water, and it really didn't make a difference. Like they both grew just fine. And I mean, whenever you're growing them just about this big, you don't really need to fertilize or do all of that work. I mean, it's super simple. Doesn't have to be difficult at all. Well, great. Okay. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. This was super fun. And make sure that you guys are following us either here on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you guys are watching. And make sure that you join us. We are, oh, thank you for reminding me. So now that we are in the summer months, starting in the months of June, we are going to be doing every 2 weeks now. I am sorry, but we are going to be running out of things to talk about in the summertime because not a lot. I mean, we're just going to be maintaining our garden, but we will be here every 2 weeks, still going over things that we're doing either inside or outside, and we'll be hanging out. So we will be here in June. Be watching our social medias. We will post about it soon. Let's see. I already have a subscription. What do I do to get the Growbot update? Okay, so you just need to send us an email at info@seedtospoon.net. Yes, right there. And we will get you set up. It's very, very fast and easy. So we will get you set up. So send me an email right there and I'll get back with you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. And we will see you again very, very soon.